ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. So, this morning, please bear with me because you could understand that my throat is not in a workable condition and I have some cold and cough. So I have to take this hot water a little bit time to time because otherwise I will have cough. But anyway, this morning we have a very good subject, excellent subject, Vedanta and Courage. Courage is the opposite word of fear. Why do we afraid? We have to understand this particular thing. Why do we afraid? What is the cause of our fear? If we can remove, it is said, in stress management also it is said, that if you can remove the cause of your stress, then you will become released from stress and you will get rid of stress. So, the same logic holds good in fear also. So, what is the cause of our fear? Let us try to understand this. According to Vedanta, the system of this universe is always balanced. Everything is balanced. In Bhagavad Gita also it is said that there are three components: Sattva, Tamas and Rajas. This is called Prakriti, and the cause, the material cause of this universe and the human being is the Sattva, Tama, Rajas. And the ideal state is to keep those three components in an equilibrium state. When it is not in an equilibrium state, then either we will become workaholic, or we will become little bit angry, jealous, all demonic qualities we reflect in our character. So the balance is the key word. So we always should keep some balance. Similarly, there are two basic processes which give life dynamism and diversity. Because of these two processes, we work, we get the motivation of work. So this is the good aspect of these two things. And then again, there are bad aspects of these two things. Let us judge. The important theory that Lamarck and Darwin gave to this world is struggle for existence. And that is the motivation of our work. So each of us, if we think very carefully, why do we work? It is only for struggle for our existence. From amoeba to the plants, if you see, they have also this struggle for existence. But these living beings, the struggle for existence is restricted in the physical level. Again, the plants, the trees, the animals, they always try they always try to keep the balanced condition. So it is called in biological language homeostasis. Homeostasis is the quality, we also have that. Everybody has that. It's a biological quality. So homeostasis is this: our body, not our, everybody's body, even the plant, animal, their body develop a mechanism. It protects all the physical challenges which come from outside. As for example, it is now cold. If we feel very cold here, automatically our body will generate some heat which can protect us from this cold, and slowly we will become acclimatized. So this is called homeostasis. Each of us, we develop this kind of physical mechanism which can protect us from the external physical challenge. And especially the trees, plants, lower animal, they have this kind of homeostasis because they have this struggle for existence in the physical level. But what happens in a human being? Human being has one important aspect which is called mental level. Physical level, homeostasis is protecting us. But what happens if we are threatened mentally? Then which component of our personality protect us? Can anybody? Sorry. It is, please remember this, it is ego. Our ego immediate jumps into the field and tries to protect us. Take the example. It is mental level. Take the example. If I criticize you right now, you are not good person, you did such and such thing, so all these problems are for you. What you will do immediately? What we do? Yes. Immediate, our defense mechanism activates and we bring justification and argument that you are wrong, it is not my fault. It is your fault or somebody's fault. Who does this defense mechanism? This is our ego. So when we mentally are threatened, then our ego jumps into the field and activates. But what is the cause of our threatened equilibrium? If we lose our equilibrium, then immediately this defense mechanism, either in the physical level or in the mental level, activate and they try to protect us. But why this equilibrium state is disturbed? It is because of one thing, and that is called impermanent. The quality of impermanence, actually the cause of disturbing this equilibrium state. Just think over it. Take the example. We work, we try to earn money, we try to keep our health in a protected way, healthier. Why? Because we know it is not permanent. So all our threatening, all our threats is because of this impermanence quality of this world. See, I said everything is balancing. So, because of this impermanence, we work. It is a threatening. This is also the motivation of our work. We work because we know the food I took this morning is not sufficient, that is impermanent. I have to take food. I have to arrange that. I know that my health is okay, but it will not stay 100% okay throughout my life. No. Even I was born someday, and I know that I am not going to live throughout infinite time. So everything in this universe, if you think carefully, is impermanent. And this impermanent is the great challenge of all animal, plants. They are not aware of that. They are in the physical plane, so they try to protect in the physical plane. But human being, they have the mental plane. So how does ego react against the threatening of impermanence? It acts in three ways. It tries to protect us in three ways. Number one, it tries to overcome this threatening, completely denies this threatening. Just ignore this threatening. And this is called courage. What is courage? Courage is this: when our ego ignores our threatening of impermanence, mainly because everything, all our threatenings is connected with impermanence. So, when it ignores, that is the first thing. It is called courage. What is the second way of doing it? Second way of doing it, ego takes the refuge of God or some supernatural power to protect us. And these are religious way they try to do that. This impermanence in technical term is called non-being. Because being is the consciousness which is eternal. And non-being is impermanent. Which is impermanent? The things is called non-being. So the second way ego protect us by taking the refuge in some god or deity. The third way of protecting is that ego takes the refuge of a group of society or a group. And this group of society, what happens, just take the example. In community, social community, there is a group, those who command that social community. Okay? There are few people are there, they actually take the reign and they try to dominate that one everywhere in all communities. So people find it is better to take the refuge of that community so that there will be no problem. Okay, we shall support, we are under them, that's all. And in this way, actually, you can see this kind of society in communist country, in Nazim, and some religious churches, and different places. The result of this kind of taking refuge in the group, social group, or in some group is not good, because you have to do according to them, so there will become some alienation, some gap between your personality and the group personality. And ultimately, to balance those things becomes terrible, and as a result, it will come depression, alcoholic, sex-mongering, or different kind, ultimate extreme function of this alienation is suicide. Meaninglessness, all these things will come because of alienation. So now we shall discuss the first point. Who wants to, because courage, Vedanta and courage, who can ignore the whole threatening of impermanence? How to attain this courage? What is the technique of ignoring the threat of impermanence? Vedanta says that you need not do anything. Only you understand. That's all. You do not have to do huge austerity. You do not have to observe meditation for whole one day, fasting, rituals, nothing you have to do. Only you understand it. There is two drawbacks in Western concept of self. And most of us are acquainted with this kind of conception. We always listen to Vedantic concept of Atman, but we do not concentrate on it or do not try to understand what is the meaning of it. Because we all know what is the characteristics of Atman. It is self-effulgent, it is eternal, it is always truth, it is pure, it is ever pure, it is full, infinite. Thousands of qualities we know and we take it for granted, everything. We do not think of it. Vedanta suggests, just think, hold on to it and reflect on it. That's all. First, try to understand it intellectually. And it is sufficient. Then realize it. That will take time. So what will happen? What is the great two drawbacks? Two drawbacks are these. Number one, that spirit or the soul is not considered a transcendental unity or transcendental entity in Western concept. This is completely transcendental. Our self is transcendental entity. If we have to understand it, we have to understand it not through our senses. Transcendental entity means it is not objective. It is not an object. What we understand through our senses is all object. I am the subject. But you cannot understand through your senses. Then how can you understand it? It is a transcendental one. This is the first thing. According to Christianity or Semitic religion, only transcendental is God. So, this is the huge difference between the Western concept or Semitic concept and the Indian Vedantic concept. So, the soul, spirit, according to the West, is nothing but mind. Since the mind is liable to be tainted by the sense experiences and all other things, is constantly changing. It cannot provide a stable basis. So this is the first difference, first characteristics. Secondly, the dualistic concept of soul. We are one with God. This concept. These are the two fundamental concepts, which is very difficult for a person whose mindset is according to the Abrahamic religion or Judaism, Christianity and Islam. It is very difficult to accept and to understand this. But Vedanta says that God and self, Jivatman, is one is the Jivatman and God is the Paramatman. So this is the difference. So actually, in quality, both are same. There is no difference. Only one is sum total of the self, one is individual self. That's all. And both are same. Sum total means, you see, the main line, it is very simple. The main line, the router. From router, everywhere the Ethernet came, you know. So all poles or all points, outlet of Ethernet are connected because they are connected at one point in the router. That's all. Exactly in the similar way, we all are one. What does it mean? It means we are actually all are connected to that one point. From that sense, we are all one. So these two things we have to understand. And then we can conquer the fear. How is it? We have to understand it. That's all. Our self is the transcendental one, and God and myself, Jivatman and Paramatman, are essentially the same thing. These two things. And I am 100% sure, because you all have been attending Vedantic lecture for a long time, you all know this. But we have to understand, think, hold it to one point and try to think that. Let me explain. So I said that Atman, as self-luminous, eternally pure and blissful, it is totally different from and transcendent to mind. So there is no connection with our self and mind. I am 100% sure you have been attending Vedantic lecture for a long time. You know it. You know it 100%. And you know by heart, by conviction, that mind and self are two different things. Okay. So, it is totally different from and transcendent to mind. Hence, it cannot be tainted by impurities, which can affect only the mind. So see, in the basic principle, there is a room to say, I am not sinner. Because what am I? I am the self. Ever pure, ever effulgent, transcendental, one with God. Then who is impure? Who is sinful? The mind, which has no connection with me. Because mind is changing. Which is changing, that has no validity in Vedanta. Can you rely any of your friends who changes words every moment of time? Can you rely? So mind changes every moment of time. How can you rely? The self, so which is created, impermanent. What is the definition of impermanent? Which is created, that has an end. And that is impermanent. So mind has been created. But self is not created entity. It is self-existent and conterminous with God, and so it is deathless. Such a conception of soul makes the exercise of fearlessness easy. When confronted by guilt, the soul can say, I am pure and blissful, and so sin cannot touch me. When confronted by emptiness and meaninglessness, the souls can say, I am faultless, I am full and consciousness, and every experience is meaningful to me. When confronted by fate, the soul can say, I am immortal, I am deathless. So it is only an event, but ultimately it is an unbroken existence. This is the Vedantic conception of Atman, enables the soul to take on all forms of non-being simply by asserting the real divine nature. So what does it mean by non-being, which is impermanence? I am permanent. My mind is impermanent, my body is impermanent, but I am permanent. So no impermanence can touch me. We are afraid of only the impermanence. We are threatened by impermanence. So, all the power that the soul needs is hidden within it. What it needs is somebody to come or some books to awaken that power. That is what is required. If you reflect on it, that itself will awaken that power in you, and you can understand. That is why Swami Vivekananda said that my ideal indeed can be put into a few words, and that is to preach unto mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every moment of time. Thus, each soul has in it the power to exercise the courage and face the threat of non-being, because it is permanent, it is being. Vedanta, however, goes a step further and denies non-being itself. It is this denial that it radically differs from the Western system of thought. According to every school of Vedanta, there is no guilt separating the soul from God. It is not I-thou relationship. God is not wholly other object. Only. Now the question may arise that what happens to the devotees, those who are following the path of devotion? They always try to see God differently. The point is this, that all the devotees who follow the path of devotion, they know that in essence they are one with God. They try to merge with God. But they try or they like to keep a difference, either master servant or the beloved or the friends, in 6 different ways. You know that. They try to make some difference. So this is the way, but they know that they are one. In Vedanta, there are 3 existential anxieties which is called Maya. Another point is coming, the Maya, the ignorance. So ignorance and Maya itself is unreal. So if everything is real, if we are one with God and everything is real, then why this Maya unreal is coming? We have to understand this point very carefully. Actually, this is the subject matter also in my evening class. We have to understand this very carefully. There are 3 things which is real, eternal, permanent, that is called Sat. Means it is eternal, permanent. So only thing is Sat is self, Atman. That is Sat, real. Sorry. Which is not there, that is unreal. Unreal means no existence. Another thing is there, that is the problematic. That is in Sanskrit, that is called mithya or ignorance. What is the characteristics of this ignorance? The characteristics of this ignorance is this. Actually it is not there, but we think it is there. That is called mithya or ignorance. As for example, the rainbow, mirage, body consciousness. So, it is which is not real, but appears to be real, is called mithya. Problem is here. If it is permanent, no problem, we know that. If it is nothing is there, asat, we know that. But the problem comes when it appears, it is not there, but it appears to be there. Here comes the concept of Maya. And here duality means the subject-object separation. And actually fear arises from 2. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says very clearly, Ditiyad boi bhayang bhavati. When there is a concept of 2, then fear comes. All fear, any kind of fear. Then it comes. Even your shadow, you are afraid of your shadow. If everything is one, there is no fear. Death. Two, the concept of two. This side, that side. Always fear comes from two. So the point is, duality means separation of subject-object, but the divine being, as the eternal subject, fills the space, leaving no gap of object. The problem is this. Why in Christianity there is tremendous fear of sin? It is because the individual self, there is a huge gulf between individual self and God. But here, fear and anxiety we feel are not real but cause of ignorance. It is not real. Because it is not there, it appears to be there. So what we have to do? Just take the example. Again, rope and snake. If snake is not there, it is the appearance. What you have to do? Know it, ignore it. That's all. The reflection. Everything is the reflection. Do we fight with the reflection by seeing our reflection in the mirror? We do not fight. What we do? See it, simply ignore it. That's all. So the way to ignore the unreal, means the mithya, ignorance, is just to ignore it. Know the correct thing. That is all. Ignore it. Because you cannot fight with that. You cannot bring a bucket of water, or you cannot cut a piece, a portion of rainbow. It is there. Enjoy. So that is the fear. And exactly the four truth, which is called Mahavakyas, four Vedas, if you see, and the essence of these four Vedas is called Mahavakya, the great sentence. There are four, that is the essence of four Vedas. As for example, from Rig Veda, what is the essence of Rig Veda? Prajnanam Brahma. And you can find it in Aitharya Upanishad. Prajnanam Brahma. So our knowledge, Jnanam, is Brahman. The knowledge is Brahman. What is the pure knowledge? The knowledge of Brahman. Then Yajurveda, Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Then Tattvamasi, Chandogya Upanishad, and Samaveda, thou art that. And the last one, Ayamatma Brahman, I am. See, all these are the same meaning. What is that? I am Brahman. This Atman is Brahman. Brahman is consciousness. Thou art that. The four sentences aim at eliminating the erroneous notion of non-being as a gap of separating soul and God. So this is the fundamental teaching of Veda. If we go through Upanishads, we can find this. When the notion of non-being disappears, its products, anxiety, fear, will cease to hurt us. There is no need to fight with guilt, meaninglessness, fate all through our life. It is possible to live completely free from these problems by realizing one's real nature. What we do? When we are afraid, we are praying God, we are rushing here and there, we are trying to take the help from somebody else. It will only increase more fear. Nothing can be solved. At that point of time, if we can realize, think our real nature. So it is transcendental. We are elevating our consciousness. We are getting rid of this point of reference of senses and all other things. And in this way, we can get rid of fear. Do you have any question? Sorry. Do you have any question? Please.
Very nice talk about. Part of Vedanta says that this world because this world is impermanent, does that mean?
No. It is not impermanent. Definitely impermanent. But in which category it is coming? Please try to understand. It is real, unreal, or imagination, illusion, mithya, ignorance.
That was where I was going.
What is that?
That was where I was going with my question. Because the world that we experience with our senses is impermanent, does that mean that it is?
It is ignorance. Illusion. It is ignorance.
Yeah, it's not real.
Yes. It is superimposition. And what you can do? Can you fight with any superimposition? You cannot.
So that's like seeing the snake in the road.
Right.
Or the rainbow.
Yeah.
Or mirage.
With huge rod, with everything, with gun, you cannot kill that snake. Because it is illusion.
Krishna said that.
Yeah.
The magician is magic is real. I mean,
Magician is real.
magician is real.
Right.
Magic is
Right. Right. Exactly. Yes.
Maharaj, you can ignore it, but it'll still seem very real. Like it'll still be there. You can know it, but you will still, like you're not convinced about it.
Yes, just understand. It is called Mrigo Trishna, In Sanskrit scripture, the mirage is called Mrigo Trishna. Mrigo means the deer. The deer cannot understand that there is no water. They run and run, try to drink that. Ignorance. They are in this world. So what we need actually, try to understand this, try to reflect on this. Try to find the unity, then everything will, oneness of existence, done, everything will go. Because it will not give us the difference between God and us. Everything is one. Try to think that. When we have some problem, when we have some kind of things, try to think that what logic we can put here. The fundamental truth is one, oneness of existence. Yes.
I've heard some spiritual teachers say that our soul has become separated from God, and that we need to do spiritual practices in order to reconnect with God. I think what you said this morning is that that's not necessarily true, but it could be that he's saying, it appears that our souls become separated from God.
That is also ignorance. That is also ignorance. Yeah, that is also ignorance. It is basically, in reality, it is one. But we are thinking it is separate. That is why we are praying God, we are this, that.
We have to work hard.
Right. It is simple. It is simple. If you think that you and your reflection is different, you work hard. What is the ultimate output? Nothing. But the point is this: it does not mean that nothing will come out, but you will be elevated. In this way, what will happen? We can elevate ourselves. That is the point. If our dualistic spiritual practice can take us this transformation of consciousness, then that is helpful. If it is not, then no. As for example, the devotees, they like to keep separation. Because it is a kind of love, They want to be loved, they want to love. But they know that God, in essence, that we are one. They know that. Then they separate and they do it. That there is in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the Hanuman is telling Rama, when I think you are master, I am the servant, then we feel difference. When we feel that you are my friend, then we think that we are in a same platform. But when we see you are one with me, then I cannot find any difference. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuat, Sarvastarotu Durgani, Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu, Sarva Sadbuddhim Apnotu, Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu, Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat, Sajjana shantimapnuvat shantamucchete bandhebhyo muktaschanyan vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied, for He being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Next Sunday, we do not have any class to San Jose in the evening, but here we have morning talk at 11 o'clock. The subject is Quest for Happiness. As usual, tea and coffee will be served in the Sharadananda Hall, which will be followed by Prasannatmananda. You all are welcome.